games. I think you were playing Enchantress. You got the Saber
I was.
creep, and I'm like, oh, this lane is
It made their life
over.
hell. Yeah, we won that so hard, man. Game was done in 15 minutes.
Oh,
It's
God.
actually so busted with the amount that you're able to
is.
spam out. I'm not going to pretend like I know how this lane matchup is going to go either. I know the build that Exilone likes to go, so I can tell you about that if you want.
Sure, let's hear it.
So typically the way that he goes, again, against the Batrider, I'm not sure if it's the way, but you get 1 point in E, the Uproar for the additional damage and some armor. You max out the Trample. You go the left 2 talents as well on the Primal Beast, just making sure that you've got that Dispel from himself, which is going to be nice. The extra magic resistance against the Trample, really good against the Batrider too. And then he typically goes Bottle, Phase, Wand, and then he has a choice of between like Aghanim Scepter and BKB.
Okay. Have you taken a look at Thompson's item build by any chance? You know
Pretty
kind of
similar.
roughly. Okay. Well, yeah, it's going to be really interesting how this matchup shapes mid, because often like Batrider versus melee matchups is very favorable for the Batrider. I guess the nice thing with the Primal Beast is you do have a way to disengage with that onslaught. It's got a very big range as well, so it should be fine for him to always get out of harm's way once Avatar mode is stack up the sticky.
Yeah. You are 3 bounties. It's over. Call it.
RSG. No, it's 4
this
bounties. Hey, relax. Come on now. One thing we do have to see, Roger's up top at the moment. A little bit of a lane swap. We see this often. RSG are actually one of the teams that will regularly put their supports in different lanes if they feel like it's going to help their cause out better.
Yeah, for sure. I would say there are a number of other teams that do similar sorts of things, like Execration, for example. They do that with an Earth Spirit. They give Tino an off-lane Earth Spirit if they feel like that's going to win the other 2 lanes. So I like the fact that RSG have stuck with what's given them a pretty decent amount of success so far during the DPC. I mean, they got 4th during a pretty stacked DPC season was it Season 3? Yeah, I believe so. So very close to being able to go to that major, just a little bit short. Obviously,
So
TI would be next level.
Why do we feel like they've done this, though? Why is the Omni Knight a melee strength hero playing to the Undying, and you've got Snapfire with the Void? Do you maybe feel like bottom with the Snapfire is a little bit more of a kill lane? What do you feel like the reasoning is here for RSG?
I guess in the bot lane, there isn't really anything that you need to prevent, right? And so they just are focusing on the fact that, well, Doom plus Earthshaker, pretty weak lane, like we were saying. So now we can just try and dominate it a bit more. They're going down the route of potentially winning 3 lanes.
Trying to man fight 2 heroes at the moment. Ducks into the tree line and we'll be okay. I thought Xiaoyu was going to continue chasing the Undying, but Xiaoyu just wants his farm. You know, wants his creeps.
The other thing that I actually haven't mentioned about this mid lane that we're looking at, if we can have a look at just the attack damage differential there, once this engagement is over. Seth trying to get another one of these kills off, and, well, Roger seems like he could go forward, but yeah, it doesn't really feel like a Heavenly Grace sort of lane. I do still feel like he's going to max it out, though, from this point onwards. Like, WWW at levels 3, 4, 5 seems like the way to go.
So you were speaking about the attack advantage that Silun has on the Primal Beast versus the Batrider?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like a 30 damage differential between the Primal Beast and the Batrider. So as long as you're not getting dived, it's fine, right? You just go max out the stick charges, and then you're pretty happy to just stand there and fight. It's close.
So how I was expecting RSG to play this top lane was the spam. I'll hold that thought, just keeping tabs on bottom, and his abilities are getting chucked out, but nothing crazy as both sides are brought down relatively low. Top lane though, I thought RSG were going to play this Death Prophet Snapfire and just look to nuke with Crypt Swarm and Scatter Blast onto Seth. So at the moment we see, even with the Omni Knight playing top, Xiaoyu is really struggling, and in fact Roger, he's going to feel the need to try and drag the creep wave and manipulate how Neon are playing this lane.
They're going to try and connect these 2 creep waves together. It doesn't look like they'll be able to, but I mean, bottom lane, actually they get that first blood onto MKS. Nicely done, coming through, giving him a little dance step. Do they have are you much into the dance? Oh, actually, never mind. Mid lane. I was about to say, like, what's the equivalent of the Melbourne Shuffle overseas?
The Melbourne Shuffle. Can you shuffle?
I cannot shuffle. I have no rhythm. You know this, all right? I feel like you're just calling me out directly here.
Well, I can, so I can do it quite well. Not going to toot my horn. I was an absolute club rat for quite some time, closing joints at 6 a.m. I can I can do it semi, but
you can wiggle is what you're saying.
I can wiggle, I can boogie. I don't know what an equivalent would be for someone else's Melbourne shuffle and another international shuffle. I don't know.
Singapore slide, maybe, you know, that sort of thing.
Mid lane, Jalbonbon might be in a bit of trouble here. But it does have Roger connecting. Can he get there fast enough? But no point in the Heavenly Grace to purge up the stacks. But Avatar Mode, he can still fly up to the high ground, playing his distance over Excellent. So Avatar Mode will escape, and Roger now finally getting that level 3 with the point in the Heavenly Grace. But unfortunately just took a little bit too long. And meanwhile, top lane as well, Xiao Yu almost going down, but just will be able to escape to the T1 tower.
So close. He didn't actually have a Spirit Siphon charge there either, so... Well, now at least he's level 3 on Roger, so it makes a lot of these rotations feel so much better. Obviously, would have been able to probably turn that one around for a kill if he had that for the mid lane. But this is just really important to enable Xiao Yu to have the easiest time possible, right? You just pop the Heavenly Grace onto someone when they try and disrupt his initiation, and he's the one running at you. He's the one creating a lot of this havoc to enable someone like the Primal Beast to catch the backlines, to enable the Faceless Void to come in and get off that perfect Chronosphere. So to me, RSG's lineup just feels like it makes a lot more sense in cohesion.
And down bottom.
And top.
MKS looking to get aggressive onto Enryu. See if they're going to have the
Seth's
damage
actually
for the
getting died
moment. Yeah, Seth gets killed up top. Down bottom, Enryu, he also goes down. The ability's still on cooldown for Jalbonbon with the Scatter Blast. Not available for another fire, but you see RSG able to hit back in particular top lane. That's the important lane to give some bonus gold and experience over to Xiao Yu.
Yeah, sure. Oh, very importantly. Oh, actually, what's happening in this bot side? Some lucky bashes coming through from MKS, and another couple just coming through. Sometimes, you know, Gaben's on your side a little bit more than others. And I was about to say on that top side as well, you got the deny onto the flag bearer creep. That's a lot of money going away from a Morphling who, let's be real, like, he is the one that needs to carry this game for Neon right now. A lot of the times when Enryu does pop off, he's on a lot more of these lane-dominating style of heroes. You need to make sure that you've got, like, a Viper or a Beastmaster or, you know, Necrophos, Timbersaw, these sorts of ones. But Doom isn't really that. So we'll see how successful he's going to be in transitioning towards that mid-game.
Bottom lane. Our first rotation coming out from the Primal Beast as Excellent's going to be playing around with a level 6. It will require out the Pulverize here just to make sure that Jalbonbon can leap over the fissure to provide that extra stun lock. So a great rotation. It does free up mid though, so instantly you see Avatar Mode shoves out the lane, gets the catapult under the tower, and is now going to look to make his own rotation.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's fast enough though, has the Windlace of course, just for a little bit of that value, plus the phase boot, so you're going to be able to contest reasonably well against Avatar Mode.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They're
attack.
actually going for a little bit of a dive here. Have to be careful on Avatar Mode. Actually, does he? You've got Playhard playing alongside him.
Looks like he doesn't have to matter, but Roger TP's in the nick of time from the Omni Knight as Excellent gets the Pulverize out. Beautifully done, Roger. Great positioning. That Heavenly Grace, and we were mentioning that the Omni Knight was going to be a big answer to the Bat Ride, we're already seeing early on.
Sure, he's put the second point into the Purification. I don't hate it. You know, just a little bit of burst damage. It provides you a lot of value. You got to make sure you got that chat wheel ready.
Oh, that's...
All right, well, while we've got a little bit of a break, you and I can see, unfortunately I don't think the chat can, the predictions coming through, and we didn't make them at the start of the game. So player with the highest total physical damage done to heroes at game's end, probably the Faceless Void, right?
No, I think DP. No, I think Morphling.
Okay, you think Morphling, I'll go Faceless Void. Number of total smoke gank kills by 25. At the moment it's 0, so... Let's go 4 for me.
What? How?
Come on, we're on clock here.
They
can unpause at any moment,
30 seconds? You got to get a kill between 30-second window? Is that kind of what it is?
Let's not overcomplicate it. If a smoke leads to a kill, we'll count it.
Sure. You said 4, right? I'll go 5. Screw you.
I said 4. All right.
Cool.
I get anything under? Good. Player with most D wards by 15 minutes. Playhard's already got 3.
This guy's balling now. I mean,
I think we'll go with Playhard.
Yeah, we'll stick with Playhard.
And first Roche kill probably should be RSG. Yeah.
I said it first. Doesn't matter. You copied
Yeah,
it.
okay. Yeah, the exorcism and the little shredder. Yeah, it's gonna be real tough.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I got my answer out first. That's your fault.
Ooh, if you have a look at Roger and his item queues, he's actually going for the Guardian Angel Aghanim Scepter. Just a little bit of extra status resist, you know? Ugh, gotta protect them buildings.
So why is he...
Memes?
I don't... So I guess the status resist, that's going to be a really nice answer to the lasso. Like your global save versus... What's the cooldown? Does it get decreased? No, it doesn't.
I don't believe so.
Maybe he's got some talents as well, which it doesn't. Oh, he does it 15. 30 seconds is a lot. What the hell? Okay, it's going to be a really good answer to the lasso in particular, whenever that is casted off, because his positioning has to be pretty on point, and Omni Knight has a very, very low cast range, and one of the more difficult heroes to position in. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with this Scepter. I think it'll be nice as well as an answer to the Doom, but it's very difficult to use your ultimate before you see the Doom jump in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like it's just going to be used as an immediate response to whoever gets doomed or whoever gets lassoed, right? It really shows even more emphasis towards what I was talking about before, where Roger needs to be the one that dies first in a lot of these team fights if Neon are going to have any success. So I'm going to need to see a little bit more movement coming through from Seth to perhaps get some deep vision up. You've already got a nice observer ward in the left side of the mid lane, so that's a nice start, but I need to see more of it. I need to see more fights enabled off the back of this Omni dying.
Which I don't think is going to be easy. It really feels like it's going to be off the back of Enryu with double Doom. Because I don't know if you want to commit... If you've got one Doom for the first, like, say, 30 minutes, as we'll hold that thought mid lane, play hard. Going to be chilling for the moment. Avatar mode build, TP and Lasso still on cooldown, so there's going to be no threat of maybe turning it around on some of the RSG members.
Even just the Batrider TPing, I know he's got the Boots of Travel and he's going to use this time to farm, so it's not too bad, but it just means that you have a lot more freedom to play a bit aggressive on MKS. Like, he obviously is going into the Doom, who doesn't have the Doom skilled at this point. Roger's going to make sure that he walks down towards this bottom lane just in case Doom goes for that kill attempt without having to expend the TPs. So a lot of nice movements coming out from RSG just in response to even the smallest things, right? Bat shows on lane, you've got time to be able to move. You've got time to be able to farm. So very nice coaching coming through from them who, I believe, was it Mike and John was saying that Winter was actually coaching Niven Galaxy.
Yes.
So that's an interesting little improvement. Obviously, didn't help them that much. Sorry, Winter. But you've got some good coaches as well on RSG's side too.
On Neon. Looking to make their first real movement of the game. A smoke down bottom with play hard and Avatar mode. Trying to combine together with Enryu.
Look at Roger's positioning though.
Fissure into the Doom. The Fissure's going to be on the right side, but Roger still can get at least some abilities off to protect the Faceless Void. And now Xiao Yu, he's going to TP in. They've got the Exo, they've got Excellent as well to try and catch up to Enryu. But the Doom is able to reposition under the tier 1 tower, and no
it's
one
just perfect
dies.
by Roger. Perfect. Like, and they use Doom and Lasso for that.
Oh,
This is what Omni does, man. This is why I'm an Omni advocate. Can't be going forward like this, though. Maybe he just feels like he doesn't have any threat of dying because they have used a lot of their stuns for that sort of purpose. Like, the Fissure goes down, he's like, all right, let's move on forward.
So this now...
Sorry, go ahead.
I think we're really going to have to kind of keep tabs on how Neon look to take these fights, because again, I really do not think Doom can ulti the Omni Knight. I think it has to be someone else that addresses Roger, and probably that is up to Avatar mode. You really don't have anyone else. I mean, Blink's going to be a bit slow for play hard, considering you take a look at his net worth and his bottom net worth at the moment. So I feel like this is really all going to come down to Avatar mode to find the Omni as mid lane. Excellent. Yeah, Mortimer Kisses into the Pulverizer combo that I'm sure we'll see time and time again in this game 1.
Oh yeah, for sure. They don't have anything now to play around the Chronosphere, so that's... I mean, again, kind of what I was saying with the Batrider rotating mid previously. Speaking of mid, just getting poked a little bit here by Excellent. It does free up them a little bit of time to be able to farm as well, right? Fortune Soul, we basically haven't talked about him at all. He's doing a really good job just staying up towards the top of the net worth despite being part of 0 kills. Only 600 or so behind the Faceless Void, so having a good time up here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It definitely does feel like Dire have this more... would you say slow-paced lineup? Because even Batrider with Boots of Travel, like, you kind of do want BKB, and I think in particular with a game like this. So maybe you can look to make plays on the side lanes if you find a T1 tower, but it definitely feels like RSG going to be controlling the tempo early in this game.
You do want BKB, but I feel like this is a blink game. I mean, I feel like that that previous kill attempt down bottom really emphasizes the need that you gotta find Roger, right? And I don't feel like you're going to have the reaction time to be able to come through to save it. Actually, just dive it straight in.
Look at that. Excellent. It doesn't matter how deep you can dive if they got the control to answer you. And now look at the Morphling. Fortune Soul. He dodged the corner.
He got out.
Oh, Fortune Soul. That was beautiful. They still lose
they might find
the T1 tower. But Enryu's going to look to waltz on forward. They've got the vision to hold back Roger. Xiao Yu is bodyguarding, trying to protect the Omni as best as possible.
Oh, play hard.
Play hard. Clipping onto 3. Just walked into the middle, but there was no damage follow-up. As MKS time walks back into the reveal, is going to try and deal with Fortune Soul, but Official will buy it some time. The waveform's still on cooldown for the moment, so they're going to drop the Mortimer Kisses. They need every single little bit of damage they can find, but Fortune Soul, it will still go down. The sidesteps are not enough for Excellent. He started the fight, and he'll end it onto the Earthshaker's life.
Even just slamming the creeps down, showing him who's boss, establishing some dominance coming through there. I mean, it was a really nice Fisher coming through from Play Hard to be able to disrupt that fight a little bit, right? He was blocking off Excellent from the rest of his team, making sure that Omni wasn't able to just walk on forward, because Roger knows, like, he knows the limitations of his hero. He knows you can't just walk up into this team fight that's got a Batrider and a Doom. It just is a recipe for absolute disaster. The fact that he stayed back, sure, you lose the Primal Beast, but he was in position to make sure that the Death Prophet didn't die. Just getting multiple uses of that Purification off means that Xiao Yu, even though he was the Doom target, still ends up living and dealing a good amount of damage.
Yeah, and even after all of this, all of the ultimates, all the heroes that almost went down, all the damage that we saw in that team fight, it is still RSG that find multiple towers off the back of that. You know, T1 tower went down through the middle of that, and then top, they got the T1 tower as well. So all T1 towers are now gone, and this is really going to open up the map for RSG. We mentioned as well, they're probably the team that will have access to Roche early on, considering with the Extra and the Lil Shredder. So now, not having to worry about the T1 tower is going to make it that much easier.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Roger's even been able to go off into the Neon Jungle and be able to steal a few of these stacks coming through. He's got full points into the Purification at this stage, not even worrying about the Heavenly Grace, because, I mean, I suppose the only time he needs to use it is when the Batrider makes a dive.
You asked for a Danog, and there we go. The blink picked up from Avatar mode. They're going to drag Xiao Yu under the tower and putting him in a position where Roger will have no hope of getting that Heavenly Grace off.
It's a good movement. Like, I completely understand the reason to go for this, because you just need to find that one pick off. And, well, Roger at the time, unfortunately, they realized that he's probably not going to be standing right behind the Death Prophet as she's next to that tier 2 tower. He hadn't revealed on the map, so...
Bottom lane, and Ryu. They're going to miss on the charge, but still, they'll have the Mortimer Kisses into the Pulverized combination, and Ryu doesn't have a point in the Infernal Blade to be able to cancel the ultimate out of Xiaobombo, but maybe his just raw health is enough for him to be able to sidestep this. Gets the Doom before they succeed on the kill, but there's no follow-up. That's a Doom expended onto the Primal Beast, and RSG, they're here to turn it around. They want to smoke and take another fight.
How do they get the jump though? Just
it's a silence into the corner. They're in, and they'll have plenty of damage. You got the Pure from the Purification, and the right clicks from MKS. That's a big kill onto Fortune Soul.
They even get this Observer Ward D-Ward there. They had complete vision of Seth just coming up and dropping that Observer Ward. So, Roger, it's good play after good play coming through from this Omni Knight. Really showing his experience coming through from... I would say he would have to be by far the most experienced on this team. Maybe Xiao Yu rivaling him a little bit, but certainly has the maturity to be able to pull his team through to the later stages of these qualifiers.
Speaking of Xiao Yu, he's got that extra pop down bottom with the catapult. Glyph has already been expended, so tower looks like it's going to go down. Again, Radiant just scouts out a 4-man smoke from Neon, so they know exactly what is happening. Look at Xiao Bonbon's positioning. Let's get a double fish play hard. Gonna try and step in with the Acro Slam. Clips onto 2, but the damage is non-existent. They haven't killed anyone off yet. And Ryu using a defensive BKB, but they'll still chase him down. Off to the right side though. Avatar Mode was able to fly over to the cliff line, getting the lasso onto the Faceless Void. And now once again, the Fissures coming up from play hard, giving Fortune Soul an opportunity to start to stack up the damage on the Morphling. They've also spied out Roger to the right side, but the stuns are lacking to control the Omni Knight.
All right, I will do a first for me and actually say something that Roger didn't do great this time. He had the Guardian Angel there available the entire time. So I feel like that was really the time that you needed to drop it. Faceless Void was getting right-clicked down by Fortune Soul. He wasn't the target of a ton of magic damage coming through, but unfortunately just not using it, putting a little bit more emphasis on just trying to take out that tombstone. Perhaps a bit tunnel-visioned, and well, that's what Neon needed to be able to get their foot in the door to at least start coming back in this game. They do still have all of that great vision down, though, the deep vision coming through from RSG that's going to provide them a lot of this information.
Not like that, excellent. Just bumped Roger a little bit forward, but does look like the Omni Knight's going to be alright.
They don't have the Echo to play around with. They don't have the Lasso to play around with. They don't even have the Flesh Golem. All they've got is Doom right now. So I wonder if they're going to use that timing to consider going into Roche. But I suppose without the level 2 Exo on Xiao Yu, that's going to be the main sticking point for RSG at this stage. So he's going to have that BKB picked up as well.
Mid lane.
That's going to be nice for him.
Forced off from Avatar Mode. Tries to sidestep the Pulverize. Excellent! Knock. Oh no, he's stuck! Oh no! I think the Firefly just expired. You hate to see it in the end. RSG are able to chase down Avatar Mode, and it's a bit of a streak given over to the Primal Beast as well.
I'm happy that with that pause they were able to fix their chat wheels, because they were very important for that that last little engagement coming through here. As oh, here we go, Exo coming up in 1 second, instantly going, not even waiting for that level 2 Exo it seems on Xiao Yu, and they should probably need to use it here. Who are they using the Heavenly Grace on to? Yeah, Primal Beast just giving him a ton of that extra damage coming through. Look at him. He's got a 335 damage right now on Primal Beast just with the use of that Heavenly Grace.
Schmack. Schmack.
Very balanced. It's like, you think this is the little brother just hitting his big brother right now?
I want to see the Primal Beast with a, what, Bloodlust? Bloodlust.
BKB.
What's BKB? I can't remember the 5. Giant's Ring. And does your portrait with Heavenly Grace a little bit or no?
Nah, I don't think so. You're just glowy.
Well, those 3, and then we can see the Primal Beast be able to rival that of Roche. It's not little
That was
brother.
actually pretty clever in the mid lane. So Exalone, I think he might have a guess that he's under vision. So he used the Onslaught because it actually, you can hear it, even if it's from the Fog of War. And because they had this Observer Ward, they saw that everyone was just sitting in that mid lane. So he wanted to see if there were any reactions that came after the Q came out. So they did react a little bit, and that's why he didn't actually finalize the charge coming through.
And again, that high ground ward scouted out the Batrider, starting to make his way bottom. I think it just missed Enryu. But the lane ward instead's going to see Avatar Mode. And they're going to make sure they don't group up, because MKS, he's going to jump behind the Batrider, anticipating some reinforcements playing to the right side. And, well, no one's nearby, so there's no threat of a Chronosphere onto more members in Neon. It's just they can now solo down the Batrider, who might make it out. Oh, my lord! What?
Very sneaky Avatar Mode, being able to dodge out all of that.
Dire's top tower.
Do you have to expend anything, really? I mean, you use the lasso for sure, but outside of that, no one's really got BKBs to use outside of the Doom. And to get rid of the...
The Fissure again. Oh, this is a bit deep now. Space, that's all it is. Joe, you got a tier 2 tower. Easy like that.
I feel like he can make that dive once he's level 15. He needs the dispelling himself when he activates the uproar. Like then you're not as worried about the Bat Rider. You're not as worried about even just the Infernal Blade onto yourself.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And with the little last couple of seconds of this exorcism, they're going to get a decent amount of damage done onto the tier 2 tower. I mean, it's 21 minutes and they have no tier 2 towers to play around.
Call Neon. Zexilla, and he's going to start very far away from the team.
Off the
Does pop the
BKB.
BKB before the Doom. He's going to have Roger nearby to be able to play with as well. But there's no follow-up. Another ultimate expender from Neon, and they don't get anything out of it. And look at this. RSG, they want to clap back. They want to look to get some kills. A smoke. Trying to end. No!
Oh, very nicely
no.
done, Fortune Soul. His baiting's been really good. I mean, all the times that we've been casting Fortune Soul back in the day when he was on Cobalt, he was making these sorts of plays, and it's very clear to see why Neon picked him up.
Well, they're going to smoke even with the Undying down. They've got a great ward on the high ground to play with for Neon, but they don't have the Doom and they missed the Fissure.
Well, they found the
so
Omni.
Roger, he's in trouble. They're able to get some spells off for the moment, but they haven't secured the kill on the Omni Knight. Now Neon, they've got to get out. You cannot stick around now even to fight into the Aegis advantage as they just catch up to the Morphling. A waveform's going to be back up in a couple of seconds. Can they close the distance though from RSG? They're considering about entering the high ground with the first ship bash, but it won't be the Fissure that holds them back. But MKS, they've got no response to the lasso, dragging him deeper inside the base of Neons. But Exilon and Zhao Yu, they're nearby to try and protect him. Silon's going to jump into the middle, buying some valuable seconds for MKS to reposition. But again, the Fissures from Play are just stopping them in their tracks. And now Neon, they want to look to enter the high ground. They know they've got the numbers advantage.
If you're only going to lose one, though, for a buyback on the enemy Morphling, you're going to be incredibly happy with that. Roger just trying to get himself in the safer position.
Yes, they catch up still, the cookie in!
Oh,
Xiaobon! The cookie on to 2, jumping over! What a leap from the Snapfire! And now Sam would be brought down as well, as they were kiting them further out on the map, playing around their own vision, and RSG turning around in a heartbeat.
And Zhao Bobon, take a bow. I mean, he, all the way back from when he was playing on 496, from the position 5 role, he was the star player back then. And, you know, obviously he's made the transition to position 4. He's doing it just the same. His Phoenix, his Grimstroke, his Dark Willow, and now on the Snapfire, just making fantastic plays. They know that there's no buyback on this Morphling, so they feel pretty free just to walk on forward. Everyone's got everything that they need. Primal Beast now, level 15. He's got that Dispel on top of the BKB that I was mentioning before, and it's going to be, at minimum, the tier 3 tower going down.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Roger's getting really goddamn close to the Scepter as well. Oh, BKB, they're going to jump in. Chrono, a bit awkward, but at least they've put the Mortimer Kisses to target down the Bat Rider. And now as soon as it expires, Exilon still playing with multiple abilities to chase on forward. Enryu has casted the Doom out into the Omni Knight, so that's able to secure the kill onto Roger. But the cookie again, man! Xiaobon, what are you doing to them? I suppose Snapfire can't be making this many plays, but still the Void. In a bit of trouble for the moment, the Echo Slam along with the damage from Enryu will get the kill onto MKS, and that'll be enough. I think it'll be enough to stop RSG from staying in the base. It looks like it will.
And just that Wraith Pact is doing so much work, right? They try and go for the super deep dives, just reducing the damage, all of it done by 30%. Zhao Bonbon is just putting on an absolute clinic right now. It was a good little turnaround to be able to get that kill onto the Faceless Void, especially considering in that previous fight around the Dire Triangle, there was the BKB on the Courier that was actually killed. So Enryu's only just had all of that net worth delivered to him now. So he was actually playing on like less than the Snapfire's amount of net. Look at how much net worth Xiaobon has. I actually just saw. Like, he is going off.
Oh, Pi. Okay.
Yeah, all
Very
this magic
interesting.
damage, why not?
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're going to be lacking damage on Neon unless the Morphling is able to freely right-click in these fights. And I mean, maybe the Scepter from Fortune Soul is going to help out.
It's going to need to be that. He tried for the blind cookie as well. I like it. Just predicting where Fortune Soul might be looking to move, but I mean, this is a tale as old as time, right? Morph Shaker, it's the way to come back into a game. Remember back with TNC, even like 30k behind. Roger has to be a little bit careful here. He's very deep.
Jump in. Oh, what's Omni Knight out to the right side? They're able to get Roger. So at least the Omni Knight's killed off. A great positioning the Tombstone as well. It's actually a decent start to the fight from Neon, but they've got to be cautious if they group up. The Chrono's still on cooldown for the moment to the south side. They've been able to catch up the Snapfire as well as Fortune Soul waveforms into the middle. He's lacking mana, so he's going to look to play around the Faceless Void to time walk out to the east, and they're okay, Neon. They found 2 pickoffs onto some key supports. They're looking to chase down more, but the blink just the nick of time for Silern.
Slips away. Uncharacteristic sloppy fight. I mean, Roger's positioning has been really good all game, but that's probably the one place that you don't feel safe moving up to. That high ground cliff ward inside of the dire jungle is the one spot that Neon have just planted their flag and said, look, if we lose this fight, it's absolutely over. So we got to make sure that we play around some sort of vision that we feel confident about. They've dropped, I think I count 4, maybe even 5 sentry wards around the area just to make sure that they've got complete understanding of the vision in the area. And, well, clearly it paid off for them in a big way. Playhard's got the Echo Slam now as well.
Lane, they can't group up. Oh, they're grouping up. Playhard, does he jump? It's going to be Enryu instead. Avatar mode, considering not following up here. If they can get the Omni and Playhard secures it with the Echo. But there's a tier 1 tower nearby, so RSG, they are looking to re-enter. Echo Slam was the only thing that was really committed.
They will feel pretty happy with the Guardian Angel being removed, though, right? Like, now it feels like you could potentially go onto one of these other heroes instead of the Omni Knight with your next initiation coming through. Lasso's up in 10, and so is Roshan. So Neon, they need to just push out this lane, smoke up as a team, and look to push on forward, get a pick off, and convert that into the next Roshan.
Yeah, I think for Neon, as we're going to see another jump onto the Death Prop with the Fortune Soul nearby, there's going to be a lot of damage. Can they Rosh? I think they might try.
I think so. I think you have to.
Yeah, no, those past couple of pickoffs is all thanks to this Observer Ward. This ward by the top power rune is giving them so much information on Neon.
Absolutely. You just got to make sure you put wards down in unorthodox places. The map's been way too long since there's been any significant changes to it, so it's the players that innovate, the ones that oftentimes end up in a really good spot. They've been scared off a little bit, though. I mean, they have had to use a few things, though. The Mortimer's Kisses means that there isn't gonna be a huge amount of damage coming into this Chronosphere, even if the smoke is successful in finding a key target. I suppose they've got tier 1 towers to TP2, though, on the Death Prophet, more likely to come mid, but that just means that this smoke's gonna be really obvious. Yeah, pinged out. They're just like, well, let's make sure to play super defensively, or in a big club together, and then try and cut off this smoke at the pass as Neon are trying their best to be able to secure this next Roshan for themselves.
Look at this.
They see Exilern, they do. They see him.
They're gonna see Zhao Bonbon. They've got so much information to play with. What's it called, Neon? Who do you target? You need to see Roger before you jump. They're finally gonna get a glimpse of the Omni Knight. So Enryu jumps into the middle, but they haven't brought him down just yet. Off to the left side, the Pulverize is out. Primal Beast target downstairs, so both teams recognizing the importance of the support, but Roger, he's going to bite back, but more importantly, a Chrono
Echo in 1.
clipping onto the Morphling. Playhard's going to look to buy in some time, but the bash is coming out too fast from MKS. They can chain control the Morphling and make sure there's no escape once the bubble expires.
Oh, even a DD right before the Roshan, so they should be very free just to walk up and get this one. I was really waiting for Playhard to come through with an Echo Slam. There was that period where there were 3 people clumped up on top of each other. I know it would have been into the Faceless Void BKB, but honestly, just as a way to reduce damage coming through from the other 2, I feel like it would have been well worthwhile.
Wonder who they give the shard to on RSG.
Probably the Death Prophet. I would say. Just giving that extra siphon charge, the fear, really effective at heroes like the Doom and the Batrider that just want to stay running at you during a lot of these fights without a huge amount of mobility. And, you know, Degenora, I think, is one of the worst shards in the game, so hopefully it never gets given over to Roger. And it's not really Exilord's job to, like, stand there and rock throw, right? He is the run-at-you hero.
Okay. Can you... Is it a little bit viable, though, because the chrono?
I guess. Like, it is, but I just feel like Death Prophets is always going to be good, you know?
Sure. There we go. Xiao Yu. As the Ag shard, he's going to be really difficult to kill. Not only is he playing with the Omni Knight behind it, but we see how defensive he's itemized as well. Pse is outside the base, and Exilon is seen as they get a glimpse of the Undying's position. They're going to pounce on forward. But Avatar Mode, he wants to answer back. They get the lats onto the Omni Knight. Roger, they haven't even killed him off just yet, so the turnaround.
He was piped.
The Mortimer kisses the rest of RSG looking to enter the base. They've still got to be cautious, though. They're clumping up. Play hard, landing some spells, but the damage from Fortune Soul is not there. They need to kite the Guardian Angel.
Just got so much Heavenly Grace debuff removes with that. They got rid of the stolen time dilation. They got rid of the flame break. They got rid of a sticky napalm, and it meant that MKS had nearly 50 HP regen in that previous fight, just from a single use of a Heavenly Grace from Roger.
Dire's middle barracks are under
MKS
attack.
just hit level 20 as well, so this extra attack speed in the chrono could spell disastrous for a core.
There's anything that they could do into this, right? Would need to be the perfect Echo Slam coming through from Play Hard, the newest recruit. See if he's able to turn back the clock. Obviously, he was a big part of Neon's most successful.
They see Enryu. Double 4-star, Pogo forward, back and forth, but MKS is in with the chrono. On to 2. They've got the fort for the exorcism on the outskirts, but Enryu just makes it back inside the fountain. With the buyback coming up for the Undying as well, they're going to look to try and get back in on Neon, knowing the chrono's on cooldown. As Avatar Mode once again finds a jump onto the Omni Knight, they're going to have to damage his flank into the back line. Play hard. The Echo onto 3 will give them the opportunity to kill the Omni Knight, and now they can look to chase down more as Fortune Soul. An aggressive waveform to the high ground, but they're going to be cautious though, because RSG, they're still playing with the Aegis advantage as MKS, look at the space he's making. Just throwing away multiple members of Neon, and now they can go back in with the cookie, clipping the Doom, and MKS, it doesn't even matter because it's Exilon down to the south onto multiple members of Neon. As RSG, it always seems like they know when they can go back in team fights.
Yeah, even just cancelling the TP on Exilon as well. I'm sure that would have been Roger just saying, bro, I've got the full scope of this team fight. I'm dead. I can make every single call, and you better listen because I'm not going to be tunnel vision at all. Really good to see that there's that open communication coming through from RSG as well. Really listening, making sure they're fighting together as a team. No man left behind if it's the right sort of situation for it. And I mean, they're just putting themselves into a much more commanding position in this game. Big props, though, to Neon. Like, they're doing all of the things that they need to be able to come back into this game a little bit. But I just feel like the weight of the draft, the weight of how well some of these lanes went, it's just going to be too much, and RSG are eventually going to run them down.
I mean, RSG have been known to be a team that can execute team fights at such a high level. We've seen them come back in games multiple times and they've run through the DPC. And again, we kind of just spoke about, they always know when they are strong enough to take fights, even if they are down in members or even cooldowns are a bit of an issue as well.
That's just 47 HP regen, just from the use of the Heavenly Grace with like 2 debuffs on MKS. So annoying. Really obnoxious.
This means he can freely siege without a care in the world. Just making sure.
Saying like, do I have chrono? Do I?
Do you want to find out?
Yeah. Well, he's got it now. They're going to go for this last-ditch attempt to smoke coming through. 10 seconds left on the chrono, but... Oh, you've already lost the melee racks, my die.
Oh no, Enryu gets a double war stomp. Doom's going to be out as well, but instantly the Guardian Angel is not going to go to the low ground with the cookie, but it might not matter as RSG look like they are so far ahead with the instant pulverize, stopping the lasso in its tracks as Avatar Mode will not...